Good morning, everyone. When you get to my age, you need these. Right, all notes. This year's Social Economy Drive is extra special. It's iSE's 25th year. From an idea that's grown to an initiative for social entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs embraced by many. Got me thinking, what is the big priority for the next 25 years? Is it adopting new technology, or is it adopting a new way for social entrepreneurs and social enterprises to grow? The iSE board feel that it's a new way of working, moving the voluntary sector away from a reliance on grant funding to a more self-sustaining business models, like private sector procurement, new supply chains. Grant funding to the voluntary and charity sector has reduced over the last 10 years by 15 billion. 15 billion pounds we've lost in the social economy. The only way that we're going to be able to make that up and keep delivering social impact is, as Charles has alluded to or mentioned, working in consortia and working with the fantastic private sector organisations who are stepping up and filling that gap. Save the Children have stopped shaking donation tins. They have a global ventures arm. I know the head of their ventures person. She's got no interest in social impact, but what she's great at is generating money. And that money goes to somebody else who's fantastic at creating social impact. So funding gaps are being plugged by fantastic individuals within the private sector. And I was talking to Carolina and Dan earlier. It's individuals within the private sector, like many of you, who take risk. And I applaud you for that. At the moment, in the private sector, if you're buying procurement or supply chains, etc., you've got somebody already there. To go in there and say, you know what, we want to change our supplier to a new supplier who's a social enterprise takes a lot of courage. No one gets fired for not doing anything. People get fired for taking risks. So I absolutely applaud every single person in the private sector and working in public sector organisations who take those risks and say, you know, I'm going to put myself on the line to try and change things in the social economy. And hopefully they won't get fired. So us as social enterprises, we have to make sure that we deliver. Not and delivering at the same level as private sectors. We've got to do that. So these private sector organisations are doing fantastically well, filling the gaps that the Combined Authority and the local councils are unable to fill. You know, we already know about austerity. You know, we're feeling that for the most part in Birmingham. So you in the private sector are absolutely doing that. The work that Atkins are doing with their staff to bring on social impact is fantastic. So this week's events, you'll see some fantastic examples of the voluntary, private, public and academic sectors working together to showcase the social impact around the West Midlands. So I'd like to say thank you to Charles, thank you to Christy, thank you to Kasim, thank you to everyone who's attended today, all the private sector organisations, Miss Macaroon, of course, and thank you all. There's some great shows and great events that you should be attending, particularly I think there's the Expo. Yeah, so please come along to the Expo. And also, if you're not doing anything after here, we've got a social economy tour. Is that right? Yeah, so Kasim's got a social economy tour. So if you want to see some great organisations, come along to the tour. So thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the week.